Some of this stuff I'm going to repeat, guys, when we officially start, but this is me. And I'm about to do an energy drink, so like it's going to get live. But Amazon did an update on the influencer stuff saying that you can't use AI, right? So you can't use AI anymore to, and they obviously left it super vague. So does that mean you can't write your script with ChatGPT? Does that mean, are they talking about AI effects in video? So they rolled that out, but TikTok's not like that. So for those of you that are thinking of doing the TikTok one that we'll talk about, that's still open. As a matter of fact, some of the videos that these guys are showing online on how they did it is just 100% AI that ends with a cut of the product. Like it kind of starts talking about the product, and then it goes through kind of the journey and then the product. And it was like, it actually looked good, but we'll get to it. Everybody's been good?
Yeah.
I feel like this year for the group has started off kind of, because we didn't start until like the 14th after the holidays. Then we had 1 week. Then there was the cruise, a holiday, one event, and then biohack event last week, which was probably the worst event we've ever done. But I liked it. We had some IV treatments, right? I had fun with it. But feedback from the group and turnout, apparently no one's feeling biohacky. And to be fair, I don't think the event was, right? It wasn't what we expected. It left a lot to be desired, right? Like it could have been so much better. There's that. So now we have this one. So this is like, we're in March. And this is our 3rd event of the year, 3rd or 4th, something like that. So it feels weird. Normally we're like 12 events in.
Oh, wow.
So that's good. It felt like we were kicking the year off today, like prepping to get ready. We ready? One more minute. Oh yeah.
Do we have to be open now? No, it's open. Yes. Everybody has access to it.
Already had.
Creator and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just see if any of the products that I already did the review are on TikTok shop.
Right. And then,
I found the one that did it, the same one, same video, just created it.
yeah, but the other thing is like, so in the Amazon Influencer Program, I feel like in the beginning it only makes sense to do the products you have around the house, or actually any product you get a hold of is probably sold on Amazon. But if it wasn't, I think it's a lot of cases it's a hard sell to say go out and pay full price for a product so that you could review it and profit off of all the Amazon influencer videos. I think that's a hard one to do, because if you're getting 40 cents per sale on a $15 product, you gotta sell a bunch of those things to kind of break even, right? But if you're getting it at a garage sale or used or some places that Tom's found and stuff like that, it makes sense. But on TikTok, and that's because the highest percentage that Amazon's doing the Amazon Influencer Program is 4%. On TikTok, you're finding, there's still some 4% out there, but the creator can set 40, 60, 70, 80%.
Yeah, that's like 30%.
Right, if you're getting 40%.
Plus, the products to buy them, because I bought, are super cheap right now. Everything's on sale, everything's half off, everything's.
Yeah, if you have 40% cut on a product you bought for 20% to do, you do 5. You're gonna do a lot more than that with your video, so it becomes a good idea to like strategically go out and like find that. Oh, the VIPs are here.
And mostly products that is sold on TikTok are sold on Amazon as well. So the other way around might be harder. But if you choose the products from TikTok, you can do both videos from TikTok and use for Amazon.
Come on, sit here and I'll sit over there. These two are over here.
Huh?
I'll sit there.
Yeah, you can move Miguel's over here too, and you guys can sit there. He's fine with it. Here, I'll move his stuff this way. That's yours? Oh yeah, I think it's Miguel's. I'll tell him. All right, let's kick it off. So Thank you guys for coming out. I know a lot more people are going to be straggling in as we start. Oh, even Ramon came. Hey, what's up, bro? So, does it say Essentials on the back?
Yeah.
Like Amazon Essentials?
No, it's like a different brand.
Help yourself, Ramon.
Oh, thank you. I had no idea I could get it.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Today's main topic is going to be 5 tools I'm using that are really helping me scale the business, or really helping funnel the business with money, make more money in the business. We did this topic. It looks like a topic we're going to do 2 or 3 times a year because these tools change and things change. So I think it's an important one to do. Our Saturday events start with Our Saturday events start with a beginner hour. As I've been mentioning since December, our beginner hours are going to change a lot moving forward, starting today. So previously, they were just 1 hour of who has any questions, and sometimes that got pretty awkward because nobody wants to ask a dumb question or to kind of expose where they're at. Or some days it was live, but once we get flowing, it's good. And I was thinking that the number one question everybody should have as a beginner is around product selection. So after I make some announcements, I'm going to pop open the computer, and every week we're going to go about just a different way to go about vetting products. Sometimes it'll be with software. Was it hot? Yeah? Oh, those look dangerous. Yeah. Sometimes we're going to use software, which is not my preferred method of discovering products, but sometimes we will. We'll use Jungle Scout, we'll use Data Dive, we'll use a bunch of different tools. Sometimes we'll use Etsy. I'll show you how to do some stuff with Kickstarter, to discover products. Sometimes it'll be for wholesale, discovering wholesale opportunities so that you can resell on Amazon. We might even do some product selection as well, product hunting for influencer stuff and TikTok stuff to flip. So Alex might jump up here sometimes, I think, and talk about selection for print on demand stuff. So the beginner hour is going to be really focused on that. I'm going to leave a section towards the end that's AMA style still. So if you do have a question that you want to ask as a beginner, you can ask it and we'll still be able to get it. But it's not going to be an awkward hour of me acting like I'm pulling teeth trying to get a question out of you, right? I don't think that really helps. Another one that you might see the difference of right now is there a problem with the stream? It does seem a little low on the feed. I don't know why. Yeah. But one of the things you're going to see different is this. So this is going to be an updated slide. Obviously, I'm going to take it down when we do product selection or product hunting. But this is in the future, I'm just going to say, check out our sponsors here. I'm not going to go into this whole spiel. But the idea here is for you to be able to really connect with some of these sponsors, give them some better representation, and also not sit through 10 minutes of me just going on rapid fire of all these different sponsors, right? If you're watching this on the stream, you're not going to see this, so don't think that that you're not seeing a shared screen. Instead, what you see is a little like NASCAR ticker on the bottom of your screen. I hope you do, and it's showing the same thing, but in written format. So those are our sponsors. We say no to more sponsors than we say yes. So work with these guys. We got some new banners in here. So Ecom Chris, hopefully you don't need to get a hold of them. But if you have any problems with your Amazon account, like you're getting beat up by Amazon, bullied, suppressed, suspended, anything like that, Ecom Chris has helped a bazillion people in this group successfully. That's that banner right there. You can scan the QR code, or you can always just reach out to me, and I can make a personal introduction. But if you're more on the private side, that QR code will work. The other new banner at the end over there is a Honu Worldwide. They offer a lot of stuff. Tariff Terminator has helped a lot of people in the group already. They're also a 3PL, and they have a $250 sign-on bonus there. A new sponsor that we do not have a banner for yet, but I'm sure is coming, but they are on this slide. Every time we get a new one that's added to the slide, I'll at least mention them, is Sea Freight Logistics, or Sea Group Freight. I was getting it wrong. Sea Group Logistics. They're a way to if you're really struggling with getting products into FBA on time, C Group Logistics can get your products to into FBA in 2 days. So I think that will help everybody's business. So we'll talk about them a bit today. What else? Let's see who has any questions now. We'll do that little piece, and then we'll get into like looking for some products. So who has any questions? We haven't. Yep. Go for it.
If we're constantly getting a good chance of buy box, and what's the best time to increase the price, and what's the best time to decrease the price?
Are you the only one selling it?
No, there's several sellers on it, and we are getting decent chance buy box, decent percent of buy box. So what's the best time to increase the price? What's the best time to decrease the price?
My answer is normally the best thing is to move your inventory and get sales and use a repricer. But I guess if Amazon, yeah, my answer is going to be use a repricer,
Repricer?
like an automated repricer. Are you using anything like that?
Okay.
Are you? There's a lot of them out there. Be Cool. Hey, how's it going, bro? Be Cool is a good one.
Be cool.
Seller Snap. Seller Snap might be a little more robust than what you need at this stage and more expensive, but Be Cool is really affordable.
Okay.
And you can just basically set some rules as to like how low, I mean, 50,000 foot view here, there's a lot more to it, but how low or how high you're willing to go on your price. Otherwise, you might set your price at the higher end, and I'm assuming you're doing that because you want to make more money, but you're not getting any sales. So I would use a repricer.
Repricer.
What would you consider a good sell rate? I guess click-through rate and at the cart versus sales.
Jesus. I'm going to give you the answer that nobody wants to hear at Amazon, and that is, it depends. Yeah. I guess there's some numbers that they're throwing around on blogs and that.
10%.
The reason I'm asking is once we see we're getting
Hold up 1
decent-
second. Let me. Once. I didn't know you kept going with the question, so I took another one. So let me jump back. Yeah. Sure. I mean, that number could work, but I could give you like a bunch of examples on why that's good and why that's not good.
Yeah.
And sometimes it depends what's going on.
So I was thinking because of pricing, do I lower my price in order to make a sale? Is there a software that does that?
Yeah, repricer.
For the pricer?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Also, it was tied to the same
Yeah,
question.
that's why I
Okay.
didn't make the
My
question.
bad.
The reason we are asking is once we see we're getting the buy box. As soon as we bought it and we have the buy box and it lasts for actually quite a few for a while, and he wants me to increase the price to juice more. But once we juice more, the buy box is gone.
If you can increase the price and still get sales,
Mm-hmm.
and still get sales is a very important word here. If you can increase the price and still get sales, that's great. But again, if you're getting 50 sales a day and you increase the price and you're making $2 per sale, and you increase the price and now you're making $6 per sale, but you're getting 4 sales per day, like I would rather move the inventory. And I would. That'd be more a personal decision. I mean, you're going to make more money quicker and you're turning your inventory by not raising your price. Now, for private label, I'm a fan of raising the price if you can. But there's a lot of different factors in play there. So I could raise my price, be happy with position 4, position 5 on some of my important keywords, and make a lot more profit.
Okay.
So take that. Who made the sale? Is that you? Nice. What's the question?
Can you talk about the Amazon shipment placement service, the impact of how we can mitigate it, and would 2D labels help?
Oh, boy, that's really good question.
God, you guys are going for the juggler today with these questions. This is the beginner hour, and I got hit with what's a good CTR? And let's do this. I'm going to give you the best answer I know for the rule change and inventory placement and all that there. I was thinking that the topic was too dense to have a full-blown meetup on the topic. Camilo.
Oh my gosh.
The last one. Come here, bro. Say hi.
You're making it look suspicious.
I know. Come here. How are you? Good, bro. He's one of the earliest group members here from like 9.5 years ago. Camilo, do you remember, Fernando, you remember Camilo? Of course you do, yeah. Yeah, now you hit it, right? A story clicked. Yeah. He said no, I go, oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you still got the guns though, huh? Yeah. So you didn't get married, I'm guessing right now.
No.
Okay, so if you're doing arbitrage, I think you're going to get hit really hard. Like if you're doing a resale arbitrage, I think you're going to get really hard with the majority of the inventory that you're sending. You're probably not going to have 28 days worth of inventory that you're sending in, so you're going to get hit with that. What is it, like 20 cents per unit for not having enough inventory in stock? That's
You're gonna charge 89 cents
89 cents.
if you have less than 14 days of supply of the inventory.
Right.
Then
So,
then it goes to 69 cents, it goes from,
oh yeah, the 20% came to, if you had a $5 product,
Right.
you're losing $1. So you lose $1 of profit per $5 in profit. For every $5 of profit you're getting in that scenario, you're losing $1. Which doesn't sound horrible until you say it the other way, which is you lose 20% of your profit margin. That's massive. So I think we've been seeing the writing on the wall with that arbitrage model for quite some time. I think the scarier thing here is the introduction of that as a fee, which now means they can build on that fee, is the writing that you should be paying attention to there. Arbitrage has the biggest profit margins, as we were saying earlier. So you technically could continue. I highly recommend looking for another way to sell. I know that kind of sucks. If you're doing great on arbitrage, keep doing your thing. But the writing on the wall is that's not a good model to do anymore. For private label sellers, the short answer is Amazon Global Logistics, which I hate. Amazon Global Logistics to Amazon Warehouse Deals to FBA.
Distribution.
Amazon Warehouse Distribution to FBA. It's not even a close second. Like they pretty much said, this is how we want all shipments to go. If you don't want to comply with what we're saying, we're charging you blank. Like that's what happened. Oh, what I was saying before when somebody walked in, I felt like the topic was too dense to have a fun Saturday event breaking down all these fees that are about to happen. It looks like we're going to need to have it and try to make as much fun about it as we can as possible. It's April 15th, April 1st or April 15th, Ramon?
April 15th.
April 15th, when it kicks in. Carmen. So we'll get a meetup event and just break everything down. Maybe do a panel, and we'll get like how it's affecting an arbitrage seller, PL seller, and wholesaler, and do a breakdown of it. Otherwise, I feel like in the beginner hour, I would get so deep into the weeds on those feeds that everybody would kind of glaze over. Any other questions on the stream?
So they're going to be charging more if you don't send enough products also?
Yep.
Yep.
If you don't have at least, I was going to say 28 days. You're saying 14?
Yeah, if you don't have from 0 to 14, it's 89 cents per unit.
And then from 14
Then from
14 to 28.
41, you got 69
Yeah.
cents, and then from 21 to 28 days, which is where you have to have the inventory, it's gonna be 32 cents.
Right.
I want you to send in more.
So, but if you send in more, you also pay more in storage, and you run the risk of having, right? So there's no way. Like, I do not see a formula that you could send the exact perfect amount all the time, so you got hit with extra fees.
Well, if you send it from 1 to 2 months, then you're in that golden zone, Amazon.
But they also reduce some of the.
Pass the mics if you can, so there's a lot of back and forth.
They reduce like 20 cents per sale when you sell the product. So that's kind offset.
Well, depending on the type of product.
I don't know, all of them.
We'll see. We'll break it down. We'll get a chart and we'll put it up here, but it's a lot. In short, you're gonna be paying more. Like but that happens every year. This one looks like they've just introduced some new stuff and yeah, no bueno. It's definitely gotten to the point, I will say, and this will be a theme throughout the year. I mean, this group is focused on Amazon and successfully selling on Amazon. It's still the best show in town. There is some really good arguments though now that it should not be the only show in your business. So there's a lot of other things you can and should be doing. One of them being Shopify and having your own site. So we'll be talking a lot about that. We have another meetup group that just talks about Shopify that meets once a month. It's been dormant for a few months. It's starting back up. But so pay attention to that if you really want to start scaling that side of your business. We'll have a Shopify meetup event. What other questions we have, or do we get into
Here,
ladies first?
okay, this is a very entry level question. When send inventory to FBA, on the way to FBA, and you sold item, and how Amazon gonna deal with the Prime, like a 2 days shipping?
It's going to be on between Amazon and the customer. That's how I look at it. So you have products that are on inbound to FBA,
Yeah,
and they listed them as available for sale,
yeah, and
and a
someone
customer
it.
bought one.
Yeah, it's been almost a week, and isn't Prime only 2 days to be, you has guaranteed to be delivered?
I bought some stuff on Prime, and they just tell me in checkout that my date delivery for that product is going to be, and they put the estimated date. And I usually get it earlier.
You have to turn that off. That just happened to me. You gotta turn it off so it doesn't become Prime until it gets there and gets, because it happened to me. So I got returns because of that, because people didn't get it on time. And I just shipped it, so I don't know why Amazon sold it.
I've never had an issue with that.
Or you just have to turn it off.
I mean, generally, on the card, it's gonna say, hey, you're not gonna get it in 2 days, you're gonna get it in 7 days, you're gonna get it in 11 days, and people accept or don't accept. That's it. If you accept, then you know that it's not a 2 day thing, and it is what it is. Most people are okay with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess if you don't look, and you're like, where's my thing in 2 days, you start freaking out.
Okay.
I look, I don't know about you guys locally here,
You know the button?
I get, do you want it in 2 hours? Tonight, 4 AM? I have all these options that I get to pick, and I'm like, yeah, for $1 more, I'll get it now. So,
So, follow-up question, that gentleman said there's a button to end check? Is it,
I've seen the email, I guess, they told me, I forgot the name of it.
I think it's called In Stock Head Start. You've got the program's called. You can opt out of it.
Yeah, opt out of it, yeah. Yeah, opt out of it, so therefore you won't become active until it gets there. Because of that, it took like 2 weeks to get,
yeah.
I got returns.
3 questions, shoot?
I
Let's
would
do it.
worry about it.
First one, briefly explain the new FinCEN requirements for sellers.
The new what?
FinCEN, F-I-N-C-E-N.
FINCEN.
2024, the government came in and said any LLC that you set up, any new LLC you set up, you just have to have a FinCEN requirement. So ask whatever accountant you have, it's just an extra document that you say, it's kind of like just making sure you are who you are. So it's a new thing, and if you don't do it, it's
Can you,
like
can you
a
throw,
$500
him the mic so you can say that again? Because I need to hear it again too.
It's called FinCEN, so it's just a new regulation that the government put out in 2024 saying that if you have a new LLC, they just want to do kind of a security check, making sure that you're a real person and that you're a real entity. So it's just a document that you have to fill out, it's nothing to be
You wanna
scared
look
of,
at that? I don't know.
other than the fact that if you don't do it, be afraid of the $5 fine that's coming over and kick you in the butt.
5,000.
What? 500? I think, is it 5,000 or 500? It's a fine, so just avoid the fine. We don't have to talk about the number, just understand it's fine. So-
And I think it's, you have the whole year to do it. Like, you have to be done.
I hope that's popping up on somebody's radar on my team because I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, the accountant.
He fired people, I don't know about that.
$5,000 fee, I'm kind of mad. I get hit with that, and all it was I had to submit a paper.
I'll look up the fine, but it's just a fine.
I'd be mad at 500 too, but 5,000, somebody's getting fired. What other questions?
And for each company, so imagine.
Oh, yeah, shutting some companies down there, no?
The created companies in 2024. If you created 2023, you don't have to do it. Your grandfather did, but if you do it 2024, you have to do it.
Oh, so old companies don't?
No, correct.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys.
There's starting a private label, is Jungle Scout a better choice for beginners, especially when it comes to product research and finding suppliers?
So if you're using software is like your main thrust for product research, which I'm not a fan of that, but if you're using it, I love the Jungle Scout Data Dive combo right there, right? Yeah, the Jungle Scout Data Dive combo for approaching that, if you're gonna use them by themselves, that would probably be the best one out there in my opinion. If you're just using Jungle Scout though, again, I like it better than the other ones that are out there, but I think you're asking for problems if you're not bringing in Data Dive into the mix. And then even better, not a knock on either one of them, would be not starting your product research with those softwares. So, what was the other question they had? That was it? Any other question? Otherwise, we're gonna pop the screen open.
Can I ask one?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can, ask it while I,
Carlos, let me give you a little clarification on FinCEN.
okay. It doesn't work. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm reading here, so FinCEN is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. They issued a final ruling in November of 2023 saying that new companies have 90 days. So starting January 1, you have 90 days to fill out this application. And for those, it's www.fincen.gov/BOI. And then for those who have companies that were established prior to 2024, you have all the way until January 1 of 2025 to file your initial BOI report with FinCEN. Everybody.
Well, that's wonderful. All right, I'm gonna just connect my screen now to the stream and we can mess around with sourcing some products.
Somebody said it.
The LLC wouldn't tell us anything about that.
90
Really
days.
Nice to know.
I think they send you, you are registered in like a.
I wish there was like a little like this. This is like the best piece of tech I would like is one that I don't have to walk back and forth, that I can just.
They do that because they're establishing a little company for money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a control, like that you're a real company and with real purposes and nice.
All right,
Yeah. To like launder money.
so I'm gonna start. Let me just start there.
You just open it online, and then you got something, right, like something about getting some type of certificate, but it looks like it's
All right.
legit. Was that needed? Do we need to get some type of certificate after we open it?
So since today's the first day of us poking around looking for new products, I'm gonna, and we'll try to get a little system going to where ahead of time, maybe everybody knows like what type of product searching we're gonna look for a week in advance. But for now, what I wanted to do is do one that I think anyone can use. And it's gonna involve
That's it. Don't worry about it.
It's going to involve PLMA. So it's a conference we go to. I'm going to show you a method on how to source products using this, which I'll break down in a second. Some of you have heard me talk about it before. And then I'm going to show you one that all of you can do right now with ChatGPT and PLMA, and sort of how to go about looking for products using that catalog and what PLMA is if you have no idea. So that's what we're going to do today. So starting with this one, this method I have, internally we call it Stairway to PL, and it's just finding subcategories away from root categories is what we call them, whereas, you know, home and kitchen would be a category, then bowls, then soup bowls, then ceramic soup bowls, ceramic ramen noodle soup bowls. In that category right there, once you've gone 4 or 5 steps away from the root category, this is where I like to be. Usually, when you're here, This is an amazing opportunity to create content that has very little competition. So if you were trying to like drive traffic, it's phenomenal. Usually the cost per click here for keywords is very low compared to out here if you're going for bulls. Also, when you're over here, the search intent is much higher. The buyer intent is much higher when somebody is searching for this. If somebody just goes into Amazon looking for bowls, they might be thinking what would look good with the cupboards that they're about to get built in their house, versus somebody looking for ceramic ramen noodle bowls, or imagine ceramic ramen noodle non-slip bowls, right? If that was a thing. Or if you're dealing with something that was big and you wanted to say ergonomic grip, or something that was catered for lefties, or like whatever the case may be, you could start inserting here and find some real golden opportunities. Like the majority of my great product selection has happened in that zone. So you're gonna hear me talk about it from here moving forward, since we're gonna be doing product selection in the beginner hour. You can call this whatever you want. I call it Stairway to PL, so when you hear me say it, you know what I'm talking about. You're with me? Okay. So what I tried to do, and this I've never done before, is since I have that in my head and Stairway to PL doesn't make sense for you, I know if you attempt to do this right now, and I know nobody's gonna get up here and try to do it, but like if you tried to do this in your head right now, you're gonna fumble a bunch. But if you played around with this and just carved out 10 minutes and 5 minutes a day and just said, I'm gonna play with this and see how many categories away I can go on a product, it's almost like you're working a muscle that you've never worked before, and eventually this is gonna be just like breathing. And you're gonna be able to do this really quick. Still, I know some people don't wanna do that. So what I tried to do is I tried to bring ChatGPT in and sort of, I'm not gonna call it train, because I don't know how to train a bot or anything like that yet, but I just gave it this and I was like, hey, with this sort of methodology going about product selection, where I wanna find something 4 or 5 categories away, apply this to blank, and I would insert something. It didn't do a very good job, but I'm gonna show you, do I still have it open? Yeah. God, my eyes are shot. I'm gonna show you what it came up with in a second on this one too. But does anyone wanna take a stab with a different product real quick? Otherwise, I'll take a stab with a different product and try to go 4 or 5 steps away on this, and then we apply it to a category. Nobody?
Why not that one? Start with that one.
You could do this one. Right, but I did that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like, you could, this could be soba noodles. It could be something different. And there's several others. There's another one that's really good here. The only reason I'm not saying it is because a buddy of mine actually got this idea, I mean, in like 2000, MF, Firma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Firma got this and did it with a different type of soup. You remember Firma? Mark Firma? You remember Mark Firma? Mark went to China with us, yeah. So he did this and he's doing great with the product to this day. So I should, how about this? So I jumped into ChatGPT and I tried to do it with electrolytes. So I tried to pick something that I thought would be very hard, which would be like a supplement. You guys have heard me say this example before too. But with electrolytes, like say we started here with electrolytes, how do you feel like we could go 4 or 5 steps away to get to a greater buyer intent for a product and also a different subcategory? Anybody want to bite on this or no?
Yeah, I mean, for electrolytes,
Yeah.
I would say, well, niche down, maybe depending on sports, like specific, be as niche as possible. Pickleball.
For cycling, for pickleball. Pickleball electrolyte, would probably do great, yeah. I didn't even think of that. But so one of them here is ceramic soup bowls, so I feel like one of these options here can always be the medium that it's in. So for electrolytes, there could be a liquid form, there could be a pill form, and there could be a powdered form. Are there any other mediums for gel, right?
Gummies.
Huh?
Gummies?
Gummy, right? Gummy would be a good one. Gummy to me, when I hear gummy, that's great. But gummy to me means high cost per click, right? Because everyone's like going nuts on gummies right now. Versus, I don't know that this exists, but is there a plasma? You know what I mean? Like, so you play with that. I, obviously to like save everybody time.
Chocolate.
Chocolate's a really good one. Chocolate becomes very easy to do.
Zero sugar.
Huh?
Electrolyte chocolate, that'd be interesting.
Let's see. This is the one that did it. So I put this in ChatGPT and I did it wrong. oh, is this the one? No, I put types of electrolyte powders. It gave me capsules, tablets, gels, infused foods. I didn't even think of that. But I did some searches, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is like really good opportunities here on Amazon. I loved this. If you guys ever, this is not an Amazon play, so we're not going to get into this. But if you want to have some fun and you feel like you could do cold storage type stuff, this is I pulled this up on Ahrefs and a lot of other SEO tools. Electrolyte ice pops is nuts. But I wouldn't have thought of that, right? Medical grade, and I'm like, oh, medical grade, does that mean there's another one? And then I went here. And this is the one I jumped on Amazon when I saw this. I'm like, DIY electrolytes, right? Like, what in the world is this? So I don't know if this is the one that popped open. And let me go back, because this is where it took me. It took me to hypertonic water. And I was like, well, I've never heard of that. And I got a buddy that does water, so I'm like, what the world is this thing? So let me see how far I can go back. We got into electrolytes for chickens, electrolytes for reptiles. No, you're laughing though. You're laughing though. Let me show you what's the major, again, we're gonna get into using tools to do some of this stuff, but I think it's important that you know how to do this before you get lazy with the tools and miss opportunities that the tools are not showing you. So this is, you don't need a tool to see the difference between this, watch. So. Look at that. Do you want to be there? You want to be that person, but you don't want to be competing against that person. Like this is where money goes to die, right? It's done here. Like you're making nothing here. Like you better be like Kim Kardashian and all kind of people are pumping this for you to have some margin here, right? Now look at this, 167,000 reviews, and this is we're saying that this is synonymous with competition, by the way. For any of those that are not catching what I'm saying, these listings look great just on the image. I mean, they're taking up all the space for what they are. They're showing a lot. This person's showing all these flavors. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, these people kind of know what they're doing. I also happen to know that electrolytes are just like bowls in the example that we gave here. This is where costs are going to be the highest and there's the lowest intent. But now contrast that with still electrolytes. So if you're like adamant that you just got to do electrolytes or something supplement, now jump over to, look at this. Oh my God, I'm gonna smash this. Like images alone, like you don't even, Stevie Wonder can see this, right? Like, so like this is crazy, right? Now, I haven't broke out any tools yet. I don't know if this is an 8-figure brand or anything like that. Like all this is gonna be secondary. I think you need to think.
When you say look at this, explain to people because you don't know what you look at.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the main images here. So this is what I'm looking at before going any deeper. The main images here, they sort of suck. This is nice, right? But this looks too non-real, right? This looks like, and Rafa, maybe you can weigh in. Like I feel like I don't know that this is a render, but I know they didn't throw that up and take that shot, right?
Because they're gonna kill you somewhere.
Right, so like that looks, something in my mind says that's not real, right? And I don't know what that word is, but it's just not jiving. None of this other stuff is a good product, image, and images are everything. So I know alone just looking at this, I can crush this image. I did a podcast episode not too long ago that was saying that YouTube and Amazon have a lot of similarities between the two in the sense of the packaging of your video, the thumbnail is everything, right? And I was contrasting that to an Amazon, the main image is everything. The best, highest quality product in Amazon is that's not what wins #1 bestseller.
I heard recently, people go to Amazon to buy images, not products.
Mm.
And
That's
that
perfect.
blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'm new here.
Sure, yep.
For example, like these 2 gallons that I see over there, that for me like they look okay because I kind of like know the product. How would you improve that? Why you would be considering a good image for you instead of those 2 gallons that you see?
Yeah, Ramon, like he does, he asked some really good questions. So let me walk this back because I was getting crunk up. So that's a great question too. We'll get into that. When I look at electrolytes for chicken water, the first thing I look at is I'm like the sponsored brand video ad, right? Is it relevant to the product that we're looking for? In this case, it is, and I think it's great. I think it's great. I can't imagine how many takes it took to get the video of the chicken actually doing that thing, you know? Right. I think this is great. It's showing how easy it is to use, and it's what we're looking for. It's relevant to the product. This looks like it might be the same. No, it's not the same brand, but this is decent here. But when I'm saying what I would do better for this one, and by the way, these are the 4 paid ads that are showing. We haven't got to the organic listings yet, but this is what the competition looks like on day 1 for you to get seen is a paid ad, and the competition looks weak. This is not relevant to chickens, so that's what's wrong with that. That is a chicken, even though my eyes are so bad right now. That is a chicken, right? Can you guys see?
No,
Right.
That's the problem.
But I don't know if it's a chicken. So that could be a lot bigger.
Isn't that the video, though? Isn't that the video product?
It could be. This one says Recover 911, though, and this one says Flock
Oh,
Leader.
okay, okay.
I should get my glasses. Ricky, do you see my glasses up there? They would be in the corner in a black case?
You're proving the point.
Right.
You need glasses or else you're not buying.
Oye, pero you're on a roll today, bro. You're on a roll today, no? Where are you going? Oh. So this box is far away. It almost looks like the template that you would use for a box of cereal, right? It's what you would see walking in a trade show and somebody showing, here's the type of packaging that we could create. If you wanted to really do this thing good, how about get some of those electrolytes, like a powder of it or the liquid, in the corner down here, so that you could like relate to the product. You see that a lot with like the turmeric that I use as an example, like a powdered turmeric or the tablets stacked up. I don't know, show a healthy chicken here. Show, how is this thing applied? Is it a scooper? Do I have to mix it? Is there a ratio? Like, I don't nothing, right? And then this one over here, maybe everyone who has chickens has a farm of chickens. I actually know that's not true because apparently there's a big thing, like a big group of people out there that are backyard chickens. It's huge. I have some friends that are doing it, and I don't want to get into their products, so I want to navigate, nice on this one. But this is a B2B play. These 2 big jugs. This looks like a bulk play to me. I should read the listing, right? Odor control and backyard chicken. Yeah, I don't. Either way, I don't think it looks good. It's everything about it's bad. It looks very similar to the branding I would see on my aquarium stuff. Like, I don't even know that it is specific to chickens.
Trace
And-
Minerals? Trace Minerals?
But apparently it's a good product.
That Trace Minerals is a good product, but that's for humans too. Trace Minerals
Good reviews.
on the right.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there. So, yeah, but look at this, 5,809, right? But this horrible, like, the picture's bad. I don't know, how do I applicate? Do I just pour? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing going on here. And again, there's not showing anything outside of the listing. Like, maybe I could see an example here.
Like a bowl of chicken wings.
A bowl of chicken wing, not the wing. Cannibal. You know what I mean? Like, so
The end result.
the next one here, Trace Minerals. I personally hadn't heard of them before, but they look like everyone's saying they're a big brand. They're awesome. 5,809 reviews. That looks great. I don't care how big they are. I find this lacking.
Is that for chickens?
Right? That's it. So apparently they're for humans too, and they go for everything. And their ad team is saying, well, let's just come up for chickens too, right? I don't know if they're killing it. I doubt it. But I bet you even with their 5,809, if you have the same setup here and yours just has a chicken on it, you're getting more sales because it's tailored specifically to that. You're creating a product. It can be the same product across a bunch of different things, but it specifically speaks to you and your situation. You get the sale. So
Look at the difference from the 2 drugs on the left and that one.
Yeah.
You actually read the 40,000 volts.
Right.
You cannot read what's happening on the left.
yeah, you got the mic. Somebody talk. If you can, guys, try to toss the mic when you can. Well, Tom talks a lot, so you might want to keep it near him.
Hello?
Yeah. So it doesn't work.
No.
I gotta figure out how
It
to.
doesn't work.
Oh, that one does work. That's wild. All right. Good point, though, Ramon made is you can actually read the 40,000 volts here. You can't even read. And I have this really zoomed in, by the way, and my screen jacked up. So, like, you can't even read what's on here. This one, I hate this look. Like, I think it looks fake. But either way, it doesn't scream chicken. It doesn't bark, bark, you know? Save a Chick 9-pack. Oh, the other thing here, most people don't read. So, it's like they're making their decision off the image. Then if they have questions, they might look here. What's reading and what everyone's paying attention to is the algorithm when it's serving it up and it's looking at the keywords. But most people don't read. Save a Chick 9-pack electrolytes. If I had to pick one out of all these that I like, it would be this one. And ironically, it's the #1 seller in this category organically. So you see the sponsored ads here? This one doesn't. So this is the #1 organic placement for this one, and it's got a chunk of reviews. We can beat that. But yeah, they use baby chicks on it and stuff, so.
That's good. Is that a powder, Carlos?
Yeah, I think it was, huh?
Is that one a powder?
Is it? Let's see, 9-pack strip for.
Yeah, right.
So look at this. This is a Save a Chick 9-pack electrolyte and vitamin supplement strip for poultry, for birds, for chickens, for ducks, for turkeys. What would you do different, Tom?
One for each. I would clone the packaging.
So that,
Make that packaging specific.
so like what we just said a second ago, this could be the same formula. This is a Save a Chick 9-pack of electrolyte vitamin supplement strips for healthy poultry or for healthy birds. Separate listing for health, and just laser target what those things are. So that would be one way of improvement. I think they did good. I don't know if it was intentional with the baby chicks. How could you not like a baby chick, right? And it just goes downhill from there. We have our friends here popping up. Look, these people are at the top of the first page organically with that. That's nice. This is a nice opportunity. But the only thing I did here was, and I'm emphasizing on this because a lot of people I see just get stuck and they're like, let me just go to helium-10 and put in these filters and get this thing that everybody else is seeing and be one of 100 people selling blank. And that just ends really bad because everyone races to the bottom on price. Nobody makes any money. It's just bad. But if you use this will help you unearth some things that you wouldn't otherwise see. So any questions on that? And where are we at on time? Okay, we got some time. Any questions on that? Anyone want to take a stab at a different product and trying to like, another way you.
Going back to that product there, the one that was a liquid, trace minerals, I mean, I would think that if I'm somebody that's into chickens, like chickens need to be fed, right? So I don't really see feeding chickens with liquid, right? So I would think the pellet
Syringe.
feed, that's why the one on the right, on the far right wins, right? Is this more of a feed? I would think that that's how you would feed a chick. I don't know much about chickens, but I would imagine you feed them with feed, not with water, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know they have to drink, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, this is good. And I'm wondering if we put infused, if this changes anything. Because we saw that word infused. I have no idea. I have not looked this up.
Do you ever do electrolytes for and then just type in the letter A and let Amazon populate it for you and kind of do that search?
I rarely do it. I rarely ever do that. I mean, I guess if I was looking at something and you were like electrolytes for, and you were just like, you were thinking for runners or for cyclists, but then you said, oh my God, for dogs? For fasting? And like it changes a whole bunch of stuff. So just to get the juices flowing, it's not a bad thing to do. This though didn't pull up what ChatGPT pulled up to get me going. So I would give ChatGPT the win here. Like I wouldn't have thought of the stuff that it pulled up.
So you think ChatGPT did better than?
Yeah, I did better. Yeah.
Well, but it did pop out the chicken one.
Oh, which one?
In Amazon. It says chicken, horses, fasting.
Pregnancy. What about electrolytes for pregnant dogs? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, we've gone like super niche. I don't know if it's a thing. Anyhow, you get the idea on that, but I think you want to go for 3 to 5. Three is, you want to go 4 or 5 steps away or calories away from the main product. And that's where like your profit margins are at. That's where your content's at. That's where it becomes a lot easier. That's where I've gotten my success from. I'm not saying at that point, at this stage, that you should contact anyone in China and order a product. Like, you still need to check out the keywords on this. You still need to see who the players are on this. I mean, for all I know, this Save a Chick pack, their brand is synonymous with chicken electrolytes in the space, and nobody buys it, anything but theirs. So like, there's still a lot of research you want to do, but this puts you in a much better starting spot than just starting with a tool. One other thing I want to talk about in the sourcing thing now is, and then we'll go with this up until 2 p.m. when we get to our topic, is this one. So I just messed with this. These aren't great prompts. This is ChatGPT 4. I just did this like an hour before we started the group, right? So you could do a lot better than this, right? Right. So what I did is if you go to the Wizards of Ecom app, wherever you download your apps, it's free. And you go to the files section in the bottom right, you can get access to the entire Private Label Manufacturers Association catalog from last year, right? It's like a $500 catalog, okay? You get access to it for free. Kevin in the group did a high scan of it, which is like OCR, which is something, what does OCR stand for, do you know? Scanning a doc to where you could use something to read it at a really accurate level. Otherwise, the scans we've had in previous years were almost harder than just getting the catalog. Like, it was very tedious. You remember in the file section of, right? If you wanted to contrast it just for fun, go to our Facebook group in Wizards of Ecom and go to the files section and look back like at 2016 versus the one we have now. It's night and day. The beauty of that is this. With ChatGPT, all I had to do was drag this in PDF form into ChatGPT, and now I can ask this chat any questions I want about the catalog. No flipping pages, no doing anything. So I didn't ask good questions because I was like in a rush to set this up to not waste anyone's time doing it. But as soon as I put the catalog in, it let me know it's accessed the entire catalog, and it contains a comprehensive list of exhibitors, including their contact information, products, and services offered. Well, you guys can read. I'm not going to read everything for you. It gave me an inaccurate piece of information here, but I have a feeling it is accurate in the way I asked it, and that is I said, how many exhibitors are in this catalog? And it told me that there's 382 exhibitors. There's not. There's thousands. But what I think is they don't call them exhibitors in the catalog. So I just have to go into the catalog, and they probably say attendees or vendors, and it's a totally different list. So like, there's thousands in there. And I said, please give me a list of the 5 companies. I probably said of 5 companies. Of the 5 companies who manufacture chocolate nearest to Florida. Now, who cares if they're nearest to Florida? I just wanted to prove a point here that if you just said, I want to visit them in person and I'm not willing to travel past, the states bordering Florida, please provide the business name, contact name, address, phone number, and website. Again, it spits this out. For some reason, the way I worded it, it didn't give me the phone number and address in a previous one that I did. Again, it's the way I worded it in a hurry, but I have it spitting out that information. Instead, it still gave me the 5 companies closest and their booth number of what they were at PLMA. More than enough. Then I just said, could you provide the website on the web for the first one? I just said, Agostoni Chocolate. And it did. Here we go. So, we're at Agostoni Chocolate. So if you wanted to find a manufacturer of a given thing from PLMA and launch it, these are US-based factories. It does not get easier than this.
I wonder if you ask for a contact information for a specific person.
If it's in the catalog, if we had a catalog here, I could see how it's breaking down and what word you use to query ChatGPT in the prompt matters, and you can get it. So I think this is an excellent way if you're starting and wanting to get into PLMA. I'm sorry, if you're starting and want to launch a private label product and you don't want to tie up capital for a long period of time going to China. There's plenty of these factories where you can get a consumable product that's got subscribe and save hooked up to it, made in the USA or Canada or something in North America, so it's not going to like get you caught up into some, again, just long lead times and factory stuff and everything in Asia. Nothing against Asia, it's awesome. There's still plenty of great products over there.
Can you break that down a little more for me? Like, what is that? You don't want to tie down too much money. Let's assume I wanted to get into sex chocolates.
Yeah.
I
just randomly picked that one, huh?
No, but we
We went from, I did electrolytes for chickens. You're at Sex Chocolate. Let's do it.
The one that gets you in the mood.
Oh, I know what Sex Chocolate does, bro.
Just in case. This is I wanted to get into that. And
Jesus. Yeah. Can you come up here so everybody can see who's asking this? Sex Chocolate.
We got a minor in the room, we got a minor.
Do we? Oh my God. Oh my God. Get out.
Anyway, you get that Agostini guy, and then you're like, okay, I want to create my own brand with you guys, and I want you to ship it to Amazon for me. Like, what type of investment capital would you say you need for only if we're talking about just cost of goods or something like that, as compared to a product coming from China? Like when you said you don't want to tie down as much capital, what does that mean?
Every one of these factories are different, or these companies' factories are different. I found plenty. As a matter of fact, the majority that I asked, I could get an order in for 5K, 10K, 15, and the delay would be me getting them the ingredients that I want, me getting the packaging side of it, really not them. There were some though that were like, they had, I think I gave you a hard time, but Andres and I, on the Salsa King side, were going around looking for like a We Vibes chocolate, sex chocolate thing, like dance chocolate type of thing. And some of the suppliers we talked to looked like they had like a $40,000, what would have been like a $40,000 order. Or if you want the chocolate shaped a certain way, there is molds still, but the molds were cheaper. The shipping was non-existent because it was here. And for the most part, if you wanted to start something, are you still gonna get into the gummy stuff? Or do you mind if I use it as an example?
What, the powder?
No, the gummies.
What do you mean the gummies?
Okay, he's okay with it then. So in PLMA, he's got 60 brands, he doesn't know some of them, but like, so and one of the things we were looking for in PLMA were these gummies, right? Gummy shapes, gummy animals, all this stuff. And what it started, actually, Alex, are you still selling from that brand?
What?
Remember I showed you one time a gummy scorpion?
The creepy crawly.
The creepy crawler gummy candies?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Okay, so like, my son, every time he watches something,
Violet candy. Yeah.
every time he watches something on TV, oh my God, a scorpion. I want a gummy scorpion. I want a gummy manatee. I want a gummy. I'm like, these things don't exist. There's gummy worms and there's gummy bears. Yeah.
Horrible,
Right.
horrible.
But
in
you go on
production.
Amazon and they exist.
Horrible in production, by the way.
I bet.
Like, you place an order, you get the order in 3 months.
That's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
So I looked at this, and then when I'm incapable of looking at something on Amazon that I buy and not look at how many units per month is this thing selling, and like more or less how much would it cost for me to get. And these things were doing like 50,000 plus sales. The margins looked crazy. It was like this gummy scorpion, one gummy scorpion was selling for like $20, something.
What?
I think it was like a 5-pack or something like that. But it was crazy. And then you had every animal under the sun, every creature. Amazing category. So I think that was one of the things, and plus Tom and I had read something in Trends one time that was talking about getting educational gummy candy. Again, getting 2 categories, and then going candy, educational, and stepping away. We're looking for these things. And I'm talking to some of them when I come across them if Tom's not there. Man, their orders were like $3,000 to get started. And the packaging was a plastic bag, if it was multiple, or a little clamshell plastic thing. It was stupid. It was stupid. Like, and some of them, the prices they were giving were just crazy that you could make a ton of margin. And then they would just tell you, and by the way, we're not the manufacturer of it. We buy it from somebody else. So they were making a cut on top of it, and the margins were great. So when I say not tying up so much capital, it's if you pretty much want the shapes that they have and you've looked on there and said, hey, the blue and white gummy shark, I can crush the people that are there on that because they don't know what they're doing and they don't. And maybe you wanted to make it sugar-free or even change a little thing on the ingredient. How much would that take for you to start a PL? Packaging and everything under 5K. Yeah.
Would you do like a test run first?
Yeah, I would.
And send it to Vine and see the reaction of the customers and all that?
On taste?
Yeah. Taste is a
Yeah,
big
I
one.
don't, what I'm about to say is gonna sound like extraordinarily cocky, and that's not what I'm doing, but with the tools that we have out there, plus the experience that I have as selling and evaluating products, plus the ability to leverage everyone's here ideas in the group and kind of crowdsource something, I don't need to test it. Those sharks are selling, the blue and white sharks are selling. This person makes the blue and white sharks with the same ingredients. Let's get some samples and taste it. Do they taste bad? No? Sell it. I'd be ready to go in. Now, if they're offering starting orders of $200, then I'd probably leverage that.
What would be your minimum to test it out? Like, instead of investing 5K, would you invest like, I don't know, how many units would you invest? Like, how much of the scale? What's starting out means?
Really, what's the starting number for me to start something out?
No, not the whole brand, just test it out. Just like, let's see if this actually stuff's like one single set.
I'm very confident if I liked it and somebody said it didn't taste bad, I would just go all in. I'd get like 5. We're talking about the candies, like little gummies?
How many units?
I'd get like 200. Yeah, I guess 200-300 little candies should do the trick. But if you're getting 200 and it's a 5-pack, that's only going to give you, what is that? Don't make me do public math here, but like 40 units, right? 40 sellable units. If it's 40 times 5, 5 per.
No, that's not enough.
40's not enough, huh? Right, if you're doing a 5-pack and you got 500 units, you basically have 100 sellable units. So yeah, if you could do that, there's nothing wrong with that.
No less than that.
But I mean, you're going to give away 30 in Vine to have a good shake on reviews, and you're going to invest something. Otherwise, I mean, what you're going to put in, what you're investing with Shared Studio, what you're doing with like all this others, I mean, I think you're going to have to get a few more. See. So, yeah, I mean, I mean, it never makes sense to just get 1 million units of something. Yeah. So like, if you can test the waters, test the waters.
Yeah, because sometimes those Vine reviews can be ruthless.
Well,
And
I
you
would
think
rather
that-
know in the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
You got 100 units.
Mine had mold on it. Oh, okay.
No, but sometimes like taste is such a particular opinion, you know, and you might taste something, you like it, but then there's a person comes and.
Yeah, but that's going to be for the life of the product, though.
Right.
If you have a product that the majority of people are not liking the taste, you have a product problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go back to your electrolyte adventure there, and you go into Amazon, type in electrolyte for bearded dragon. Oh my gosh.
See, but that would be very specific, so. Yeah, look at this.
There's a reptile soap there, and if you go down a little bit more,
500? What is it?
My only issue here is like, this
Super
scares
cheap.
me. $11 scares me.
Super cheap.
there's, go down a little bit more. I think you'll actually see something that has actually a bearded dragon, specifically, there it is, right there. Right, on the right, the blue package. That's a bearded dragon on the packaging for reptile.
That's great. I like it.
18 bucks.
3-ounce bearded dragon food complete get diet for both juveniles and adults.
And if you click on it, you go to the store, and you can see what other.
That's great packaging.
It is.
It is.
What other kind of. Keep going down a little bit.
Nice.
Keep going down a little bit. Those are other little animals he decided to get into, like.
It's probably the same formula.
Exactly.
It's probably the same formula.
Just a different animal.
All right, one more thing, one more funny one for you. Go electrolyte 4.
How much did that sell, by the way? Can you go back and tell me like how many units that was?
Garger.
This one?
600. 600 right there.
600. Cost on this can't be.
Just for little giggles here, you'll like this. Electrolyte 4. Pickleball.
Pickleball. For this, I can put in ping pong and the same thing, right?
No, just do
Pickleball,
right now.
ping pong.
No, it's not the same.
Keep going. Well, there's the.
Pickleball cocktail.
Oh, wow.
And there's one right next to it too. There's
$44.
Pickle potion.
No, look at the second one on the top, the second and third one. I know where your head went with that. The second, third, and the fourth one are all pickleball mixes.
Look at this. Unbelievable.
Gatorade for pickleball players.
They pretty much just did the same thing. And the people doing these listings, if they would have just got into electrolytes for like humans, would be bankrupt.
Humans, that would be, no, that's too broad.
Right. Just getting into electrolytes.
You can do electrolytes for focus, and that's a different one too, so just let it.
Yeah, so anyhow, we get the idea on that. You guys got some value out of that, just messing around. Every week we'll try to do a different area of like product selection. To do that, if you're a beginner, this should be a lot of what you're thinking about in picking the right product or adding the right product. I had fun with it too. We might even just sometimes grab a few listings and show like why they are bad listings, and if you did blank with it, how they would be better. I think that'll help every now and then too. All right, let me, what am I gonna do? So I'm out.
Disconnected, by the way.
You guys are
you
just
got
connected?
disconnected.
Oh.
HDMI.
Well, I don't need it anymore anyway. All right. That was good. It was a different rhythm, right? Yeah. Any products come to mind for anybody? Don't worry, you don't have to share it. But did you think of any products? Yeah, you're nodding yes. You guys are a lively crowd today, huh? All right. So I wrote down, we had this event, very similar to, who's the Diet Coke for? Not for me. Huh? We had this topic about 6 months ago, and I've changed up some of the 5 that are growing the business. This is not meant to be the only 5 tools that you should be doing in your business. This is not, the 5 that I've always been using to help grow my business. These are just the 5 that have really been standing out in the business to help me grow. A lot of them, there's one on here that's different than all the other ones that I have not actually used yet, but the fact that they exist and we can use them, and I'm gonna start using them immediately, is huge. So I'll tell you that one when we get to it. Every other one is stuff that I'm actually doing. The first one on the list is, and by the way, at the end of this at 3:30, we're gonna stay, hang out and network, talk shop, which lately means Amazon Influencer Program and TikTok, that's what we're gonna do. The first one here, and this one's just getting better and better, a lot better since 6 months ago when I brought it up for the first time. They're actually a sponsor as well. Has no reason, that's not the reason why I'm bringing them up. And that's on-site support. If you're selling on Amazon, if you have a brand on Amazon, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be your brand actually. Does not have to be your brand. So if you're just selling on Amazon, if you're reselling, I highly recommend you use on-site support. It pays for itself almost instantly. I'll get into what it is in a second. I believe the monthly fee on it is like $199. But again, this thing pays for itself instantly and some. So what it is when you, this is the best way I can describe it, but who here does not shop on Amazon, by the way? Oh my God.
Never bought a thing on Amazon. Never.
No, where do you shop? I'm curious. Oh, you just tell her and she buys it?
Actually, I usually buy from Walmart.com.
Oh, I don't even know if we can welcome you here anymore. No, no, I'm kidding. She's worried. She goes, you're gonna get us kicked out of here?
I sell stuff on Amazon.
Well, okay. Well, who else does not? Carmen, you said you don't either? You don't shop on Amazon?
Like every hour I go.
Okay, so most people do. So if you've ever shopped on Amazon and you've wanted to do a return, or you wanted to leave a review, positive or negative, you see that you go to a spot that has these yellow, orange buttons, which is like process a return or whatever to start the process. When you have on-site support, it adds a 5th button, a 5th button on the top button. You can't miss it. And what it does is it gives the person the opportunity to communicate with you, the brand, and choose whether they want to return it or, like if they're going there to return something, you get the opportunity to address the issue, take them to your website and address the issue, create a portal with a landing page portal that will have all the stuff you wish you could put on your Amazon listing that Amazon doesn't let you because it's not in their style guide and the way they have it set up, to stop the return, or in some cases, send them a new one, let them keep the return. You don't want this thing ending up back in your FBA inventory, or just the process of pulling the unit back, there's cost to all that. So sometimes it's more profitable to just leave it alone, send them another one, or show them, yes, it's in two pieces, because that's how you clean it. If you put them together, it's now one, like some common sense stuff. That's not so common. It'll also help you really beef up your FAQs, because you're really now able to see what's going on with your product and where people are struggling, so that you can fix the front end of your listing and deal with that less and less. So you cut down on returns. I'm seeing it cutting down on returns of about 40%. I do know some people that are saying like 9%, 10%. Either way, that's great. I'm seeing about 40%. They don't even claim that it does 40%. But I'm seeing about 40% of your returns. I don't care if you fall at 10 or 40. You want to get that to cut back on your returns. Cutting back on your returns also cuts back on your negative reviews. Because sometimes when somebody does the return, it's followed up by a negative review. So this thing is cutting back on your negative reviews, saving you a ton of money in the return process to the tune of sometimes 40%. And then the other one that I like is a pain point that everyone has is we're getting a lot of positive reviews that we weren't normally getting. And it's because some disgruntled customer comes in, they have an issue. For a second, I thought Tom was taking like a video photo to post on social. And I'm like, Tom is doing that?
No.
Right, I was like, wow, he's stepping up. I sat up, sucked it in, everything. Yeah. But when you're dealing with somebody, you guys have heard me say this, they've been here for a while. When you deal with a customer who's upset, if you can blow them away with amazing customer service, you can turn that into not just not being a negative review, but a positive review and somebody that keeps coming back and buying from you.
You provide the customer service.
Yes. You can, or your
Pay
team.
for is the link.
What you're paying for is to be able to have that whole link set up. Right.
The connection.
The connection.
The link for the connection.
Right. The way around it, if you don't want to do the $199 a month, is if you're a 9-figure seller, they give it to you. So you just figure out which one is the quicker route. And, but
And where does the communication go? To email, to what?
no, you ever use Gorgeous?
No.
You get, imagine if you were ever looking at like a chat portal where messages were coming in.
So a chat portal within online support.
Right, and that chat portal can pull stuff in from Walmart, eBay, your website, Newegg, anything you want. All run in there, and you can have a team of people working it. It doesn't have to be like only you. You can add users that can go in there and answer stuff. You can send videos. You can do external links. You can do a lot of amazing stuff. You can set up snippets and templates and wild stuff. It's just, there's no reason not to have this. I guess if you're selling a comb with no moving parts, a plastic comb, and you're looking at like, I get one message every year, then maybe, but that's not the case for most people. So you would do great with on-site support, yeah. Yeah. How often do you deal with returns and?
Not too often, but yeah, minimum once.
But every time you do it, costs you what?
Just send the replacement out, so.
Right, the cost of the shipping of the replacement, the cost of the product. Yeah, so you get a few of those where you're at, and it pays for it, yeah.
They're like required response time. Is this like a position that needs to be filled 24/7 or?
No, you can put that you're out and that you're coming back. Like you can put stuff like that. I think that is the weakest part of it, and that is if I have an issue and I go in and you're like, check back with me, I'm pissed. Like we just went from like mad to pissed. I'm imagining you are in the jacuzzi, you know, paying your bills with my money that you didn't fulfill. Like I'm losing it right now, right? So I think that's a downside of the program. That is a great question. I think obviously try. I don't care what I'm doing. I could be at dinner with the wife and anything like that. I have an opportunity to jump in here and crush it. She'll understand, and I'll nail it. And also have a team. So Carmen looked at me like I was crazy, like, what? Okay, so on-site support's one. That was also one of the ones from last time. This next one was not on the list last time, and this is tying into the fact that I think if you're selling on Amazon and have a brand, this is for brand owners too, by the way. On-site support was whether you're a reseller or a brand owner. So wholesale, private label, doesn't matter. You can use on-site support.
One additional kind of question with the on-site support. What level do you think of sales to latch onto that program for the on-site support?
So if you're a private label seller, I think you should get it almost immediately. You're not in a contract, I think you should get it on almost immediately. I put the cost of a positive review as far as impact on my business at $250, right? So a positive review that's not gonna get removed, anything like that, like I put a value on that of $250. I put a value of a negative review at $1,000 as far as the cost and everything that's gonna impact me, whether it's PPC being a little inefficient more, my conversion rate getting affected, all that stuff there. So I'll put the value of a negative review at $1,000. So at $250, one positive review that I can pull out of it, for me, pays for it. Or one negative review that I can avert pays for it. So on the private label side. On the wholesale side, you're probably, or reseller, you're probably not as concerned about the review. So I would say it's more of a, I think you should, it's the brand and it's an opportunity for you to resell, but I find a lot of resellers really don't care what the products, product reviews are for what they're reselling. I would then look at your sales, and I think it's less about how much you're selling and how much you're dealing with in returns, right? So high or low number, if you're dealing with an amount of returns, say that's, if you're dealing with like one return a week, depending on the cost of the product too, like you're within range to get it. And you might as well get it, set it up, figure out how to use it before things get complicated. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. We lost Ramon at $199 a month, so like that, he's just waiting for the next one after that. At $10.99, he would have been like, is there a 3-month free trial? All right, so the next one here is gonna be if you have a brand. And it's an off Amazon thing, and it's called retention.com. Right? So again, if you're a brand owner, throughout the whole year, we're gonna be hammering in that you should have an external website, and retention.com does something that's like, I really thought it was illegal at first when I saw it. But what it does is, you may have seen this if you're going along the web and you visit a website, then all of a sudden in your email inbox, you have like a 20% offer of that product, like 20% off offer of that product, but you didn't sign up for anything. So what retention does is when you
didn't sign up for anything, you mean you didn't provide an email?
Right. You didn't buy anything, you didn't give your email to them, nothing.
You just clicked on
And
it?
you're not being hit with an ad, so you weren't pixeled or cookied or anything. You're receiving, you're getting in your email an offer from that brand. So what retention does is once you have it, they are able to match the IP of the people who go through your site, the traffic, with their name and email address. It's about a 40% accuracy rate. So 60% you don't get. But what it does is it automatically, man, that girl just got chewed out. Guess the mom doesn't want her opening doors, huh? So the email contact that they get can automatically be put in your email system, which can trigger an immediate email to them of whatever % off. That seems to be the best practice. If you say, here's edition 1 of your email newsletter, you're asking for problems. Like, they didn't sign up for your email newsletter. Like, what you're doing is on the very dark gray side of sketchy here, but it's allowed and you can do it. Great way to increase sales. If you have 1 visitor to your site per day, don't get it, because that's not worth it. But if you are creating content on your site or you have a good bit of traffic on your site, I would say even if you're at 50 visitors a day, I would turn it on and then just have like the most generous offer you can firing back in an email to them. Just send that 1 email and then a link on the bottom. Hey, do you want to hear from us? If you do have an email, do you want to hear about deals from us in the future? And get them to double opt in before you send them anything else. But retention.com is a fantastic one. It's been doing great. I can't imagine having a business now and not putting it on the site. So any questions about any of those so far?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
$200 a month, you send emails, 40%.
$199. Well, I know it matters for you.
You send emails. You get
Clap
40%.
for this guy when he walks in to embarrass him. Wow, nice.
You get a 40% correct hit rate.
Yes.
Which maybe, as it works, like you land on a blog site, in your site, and it shoots out an email of your choice, sending them a discount to your product without knowing the product that this person may be interested in? Or is it more like you landed on your site on this particular product page, and then it knows that you landed on that product page, and it gives you a discount to that product page?
So-
Can you explain that?
Yeah, great question. So you're asking basically how segmented or how specific your emails can be to that person based on their search history or their history on your site. So you use the example of a blog site. I definitely would not do it on a pure blog content site. The whole goal here is they visited your D2C site. You have a product to sell, your site has a shopping cart on it, because what you're sending them is an offer to buy. This is no 80-20 content to sell. This is buy, and here's a great deal. So in that case, that's one of the differentiators there. The other one would be, yes, you can, if this person is on your site, and let's say it's your print-on-demand site, whatever, or your game product site, and they're looking at a specific product, your email can know that it was that they visited this site and trigger it. Could also be that they visited 3, and you feel like the easiest sale could be this one, and in this case, that rule kicks in and sends it. You're familiar with Klaviyo, so it's Klaviyo. So anything you could do in Klaviyo, you can do here. Like that's the one it connects. I don't know that it connects with anything else, by the way.
Does it connect with your Klaviyo?
It connects with Klaviyo, yeah. And that's the only reason I have it, and then we'll have Klaviyo send stuff over to HubSpot. Yeah. So you can be hyper-specific, you can segment, and you should do it on a D2C site and not a content site.
Of course.
Yeah.
I have a question on that. Is so it sends email from your domain, right?
Yep.
And what's the risk of hurting your domain credibility? with
Yeah.
like-
Your domain authority? No,
Yeah.
I haven't seen any hurt from it.
Because you're blasting basically, I don't know, thousands.
Yeah.
of
No, I have not seen any hurt from it, and I was very skeptical about that in the beginning. They have a reason when, first of all, they have all those questions in their FAQs, and they answer them. They use a lot of jargon that is like, I was like, let's get on a call and talk about this, and we did. They explained it, and it didn't hurt at all. As a matter of fact, my biggest concern was, since these are not double opt-ins, is Klaviyo going to say, hey, like, how are you sending these? Like, where'd you get this? No issues whatsoever.
Have you been able to look at the conversion rate difference between a regular customer that actually buys and one that comes in through?
Seems about the same.
About the same?
Yeah, about the same. The only thing higher would be previous customer that bought from you and you're reselling to them again, that's higher. Yeah. No? Okay. No? Third one that I'm going to touch on now, this is the one that I've not used yet, but I plan on using for the first time this week. There are some people in the group that have used them. They're also a sponsor of ours, and that's not why I'm bringing them up here in this 5. But how long is it taking you guys to get products checked into FBA, right? I'm hearing across the board every now and then you hear like some unicorn example, but a lot of people are talking about weeks. There's a company called C Group Logistics. They don't have a banner up, but they were up here earlier. C Group Logistics. They get your pallet into Amazon FBA in 2 days. 2 days. Huh? 2 days. That's what it is. The rates also depend on how much you're sending, but the rates are not that far off what you would be getting anywhere else. So could you save a couple bucks going somewhere else to get it checked in 3 weeks? Yes. I want to get it there in 2 days. That's what I want. And I want to know that I can consistently get it there in 2 days. So I'm going to personally use them for the first time. I know other people that I've had use them already. I met them initially through Alex Ace. We connected, and I'm like, you can get everybody in my group in 2 days. You could be a sponsor of the group. If you can get everybody's inventory here, and we do that for everybody, not just your group. Like, that's what they do. They consistently drop it in people's inventory into FBA in 2 days. How they do it, I don't know. You create your you know where you create your shipment, you know where it needs to go, you buy the postage through them, they're the trucking service. They take it up there, they get it delivered in 2 days.
Are they based here in Miami?
Yes,
Are they
Yeah.
the trucking service too?
I believe so, yes.
So
Is that a
basically,
nationwide service
when you-
or like Florida service?
No, all over.
So when you
Nationwide.
arrange a pickup at your manufacturer, they'll do it?
They'll do it. Yeah.
Can we ship boxes or only pallets?
Believe you can do both, but all my talks with them have been pallets because pallets seem to have the longest check-in times. So where it was almost like, I want to save everything I can on a pallet, but small parcel delivery gets in quicker. So it's like, but here, so my conversations to date have been pallet-based. So everybody I've talked to that had the issue with pallets, that's who I spoke to and they got into pallets. I'm boring, Ricky.
So one of the issues I have is when I schedule a pickup with Amazon, sometimes they just don't show up. And then you gotta go back and call.
Yeah, you won't have that issue with them.
And the cost difference, you say, is very negligible?
Negligible.
Okay,
And the more you ship,
yeah.
yeah, and the more you ship, it quickly gets to where you get a better rate through them.
What's the name of it? What's their-
Yeah, C Group Logistics. I can do an email intro, and then I'll have some contact information that I'll be able to share with them, trying to get them to come in to present. They're probably gonna come by and have breakfast with us, like in a week or two, too. So like,
Are they part of the program?
yes.
Yeah, they are part of our Scatter program?
I know they have all the Amazon certifications that talk about logistics, and so I'm assuming CES, but you're talking about the service provider network?
Yeah, yeah.
I would check it out. I'm not positive. It looked like they did because they had all the correct badges in their email.
I mean,
But-
the only way they can do that is if they can schedule live almost on the get-go.
Agreed. Agreed. Very skeptical, but there's several people in the group that have used them, and that's what they're getting consistently. 2 days check-in to FBA. They would have had me sold at 5 days check-in to FBA, by the way. So like, I'm not gonna get mad if it happens to be 3 or 4 some days, but that's 2 days check-in to FBA.
Whatever they do, if they can get it with it, who cares?
Do your thing, yeah. So that just impacts your business in a bazillion different ways for the better. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I expect that to be a big part of our growth this year. So everybody with me on that one? I know we mentioned logistics and FBA in the same sentence, which is,
only domestic in the US or?
yeah, it's in the US. I don't know that they would do anything international. No.
Do you consider Canada and Mexico international?
Yeah.
I consider them international, yeah, they are. Yeah.
And they do that with boxes too, or just pallets?
My conversations to date have been about pallets. Yeah. If you contact them on the site,
Maybe they can solve it.
and just say, you're from Wizards of Ecom, we saw you're a sponsor. Carlos was talking today about what you could do about pallets. Can you do boxes? That's fine. Or if you just message me, I'll do an email intro and do it. And then soon we should have something up that you can just scan on your own and connect with them. But I know if you want to ship something tomorrow, you first need to open an account with them. It's a very, very quick process. But just consider doing that, have a conversation, ask the same questions you're asking me, get those answers and those guarantees, and I suggest doing it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm interested too.
So it's domestic, though. We're not talking about coming from China. Doesn't matter who you are anymore. If it's not Amazon Global Logistics to Amazon to AWD, it's not going to really be advantageous. So, all right. Number 4.
Get them to present.
Yeah, no, that's in the works. Yeah, they'll be presenting. The thing is, a presentation on a Saturday where we're going to be talking about pallets and trucks and shipping in. Everyone here is like, yes, let's do it. It will be a tiny turnout at the end. It's like that with logistics. It's like that with bookkeeping. It's like that for a mind. Like every now and then we have like a mindset one. Everyone's like, yeah, mindset. And when we get there, the feedback was kind of fluffy, you know. So like, it's a super important topic. So the thing is, I'm gonna have them come in and present, but it's one of those things like, start the relationship with them and ask them those questions and get it going. They're gonna be on the pod. So yeah. So number 4, this one is absolutely amazing. Like, is this? I think it's so new that I can't say that it's gonna make me more than everything else that I've said so far. But it's on track to do it. And it is, let me tell the story. For you to get this, because it's a few different parts for you to get. So Amazon has had this program for a long time that barely increases your stuff like 0.5%, and it's called Amazon Posts, right? It was one of those things that if you had a social media strategy and you're already creating content, you might as well just add it. But think of a social media feed on Amazon. Square, like, putting posts up there. Some categories did better than others, right? And if graphics was your thing, you hammered on posts more than you should, right? But a few things have changed. So Amazon Posts now allows vertical video in the post feed. The vertical videos are doing really good. Yes, like 1.5%. I think that's great.
In terms of views, in terms of clicks, in terms of what? I don't know what.
Clicks, yeah, about 1.5% more in clicks. Also a lot more in views. That was good, but not enough to make the list, right? For every 15 or 20 we put out there, we get one that just does phenomenal, right? Now, Amazon sponsored brand video ads. It's a thing we all know where you run sponsored brand videos. You now have an option. Check in your dashboard. Not every brand's getting it. I would say by the end of next week, everyone should have it. You now have an option that when you're going to create a video ad, you can just tick a box and have the option to use one of your video posts as your creative. Because now on sponsored brand videos, you can do vertical ads instead of, you guys with me on this? You guys are looking at me like I have two heads, right? Okay. So you can now select, hey, instead of me uploading a video that I created for this product to use as the video ad, let me instead use a post, a vertical video post. Which post are you going to pick? The one that's already shown to just go off the rails, amazing, kind of like, I won't go into that, but there's people who know about Facebook ads and stuff like that, and that you want to get a lot of traffic and engagement on the post before you use it as a creative. You get to do the same thing now on Amazon, and it's going amazing. First of all, vertical video on Amazon as an ad is a new thing, right?
I haven't seen a single one.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
What's vertical? An application?
Yeah,
or-
vertical video versus horizontal.
But I mean, when you say vertical video, is that an application inside Amazon or what?
No, it's within
No, I mean, the vertical video, I understand, but how do you?
How do you see Amazon posts?
No, how do you go to these posts from Amazon?
How do you see these vertical videos? Like when you open the portal, you can see. all
Right.
of them?
So you see posts all over Amazon. I don't know how to describe that. I see posts all the time. I see posts all the time on Amazon.
I don't
But
even
where
find
posts?
them.
The other one you could look is in Inspire, like if you're.
Where are those posts? The
Detail
reviews
page,
from the
detail
product?
page or on the store, if you go on the store of a brand, there's an option, try it, Carlos.
Yeah, go for it.
There's an option on the right side where you can drop down. Every brand has a post, kind of like social media, and sometimes Amazon places it on detail page.
Oh.
Down, if you scroll down, you would see they have placements there. They place it different places too, but the two main, I think, the quickest you can see it is on the brand store and on the product detail page.
Right, and the other one, there's a growing percentage, and Amazon's doing a much better job at getting people to follow brands that they want to engage with. And if you're following the brand, you'll see the newest posts that they put out, like prioritized. So two things happened here. One, you had this evolution of posts that went from static image to allowing vertical video. And then over here you had sponsored brand ads that started with sponsored brand video ads, which we've seen for a while, to allowing vertical video to be used as ads. And now they can marry. Now you can select this post to use as your ad. And you're doing one that is already converting like crazy. You already know this is resonating really well with people on Amazon, and Amazon is showing that to more people. It's performing amazing.
Have you run some virtual ads already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in person to the horizontal.
Well, if the account has access, yeah.
Like, have you seen any difference between the impressions?
Much better conversion. Like much better. I'm thinking that
How much of your screen does it take? Because I haven't seen one.
by the end of next week, apparently, all seller accounts should have it. Right now, not all seller accounts have it, and most seller accounts that do have it don't realize they have it. We've been checking all the seller accounts we can to see if it gets open.
I saw that on one of the Amazon advertising 3 weeks ago. That came out like 3 weeks ago, and now people like are starting to have access to
Yes, so I've only seen it, and I don't know if this is the case, like I don't know if you're gonna see a vertical ad, a vertical video on your desktop. I've seen them only on my mobile, and they look gorgeous on the mobile. So what I'm thinking is the reason why the conversions are so much better is, first of all, it's like, whoa, I'm not used to seeing that type of video yet, plus most people are buying on mobile. So it's just the stars lining up and the conversions are just fantastic.
Give me a keyword that you would think.
Oh my God.
So hard, man, that I don't see any.
Should I do sex chocolate? Why don't you look for your sex chocolate? No, I don't know. So what, are you guys with me on that? Like I want to walk through that. What you should do is you should, for those of you who have a brand, you have access to sponsored brand video, go into your sponsored brand video and just make sure you have access to vertical video, and that you see when you're like you're going to add another video and create a new video ad, and see that you have the drop down to access some of your posts. You may have access to it, but if you've never added a post, you might not see it as an option. So if you've never added a post, just go in and add something. Add a vertical video.
What percentage of your screen does it take the vertical video?
About,
Half the screen?
give me a second.
If you're a brand and you have your own.
More than half?
Should take more than half if you think about it.
And it's used just the video source or is the reaction to?
It takes almost the same thing if you just turn this. About the same amount of space that this video is taking horizontal, almost if you turned it. If I had to guess, a little shorter. Yeah, yeah, it's phenomenal.
It's like Instagram
Yeah.
or something like that, right?
Yeah, what was the question?
No, is the brand source, the video ads, does it takes the video as just the source or the reaction stuff to showing in the ad?
I've seen both, but I don't know how to get it to do it. I think it's a feature that Amazon is playing with, and they haven't really figured out what it's going to be. So your question was, is any of the engagement from the post also showing up in the feed, which would be phenomenal, right? Like social validation.
Yeah, we'll look at
Some of them I see that it does. I'm going to say most I don't. So this is, I want to jump into this next one really quick, even though we have questions, because I think they tie in together really good.
Real quick, if you have a brand, you already have your product video up, can you also add an additional post video up as well, so you have multiple videos on your channel? I mean, on your listing? Because you know how some brands actually have multiple videos.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
you can do as
So
many as you want.
My question is, if I already have a brand video up, can I now put an additional video up that's the post video you're referring to?
I think we're saying the same thing, but let me just ask, so a brand video is the video that sits at the upper third, where you see influencers also at and all this stuff,
Right.
right? So you're not adding the vertical video there,
Okay.
right? The vertical video is showing up like, you know, if you were searching for hydration packs and you scrolled a little bit and you saw that horizontal video, you would instead see a vertical video in different spots on the page in search.
In search, not on my product listing.
Not on your product listing right now, yeah, not on the product. Right now it's in
Basically a
search.
free ad, basically a free ad.
You're paying for it, for a click.
Okay.
But yeah, you get access to that, being able to run that. So I'm gonna jump into this next one. No shocker, it's Amazon Influencer. During this period, Amazon Influencer had to make the cut on this one. I'm not treating it like a full-time job. I could see that if I was treating it like a full-time job, it would probably be paying me more in profit than the profits I made the majority of the time I made as an early private label seller, right? Which is just utterly shocking to me. So I think I'd be remiss to add it there. We could easily pay our mortgage and some off of this thing at this point, and it's kind of like a side thing. And by we, I mean 99.9% my wife, and me just claiming a little bit. I will say that the video that converts the best on our channel is actually one of me and not her. I think that's important to point out. No, we're not going to tell her. But the reason I want to get into the Amazon Influencer Program thing in a second. It's something everyone can do, regardless of your experience level, regardless of your selling model, resale or private label. And we're going to get into what that is. But I want to say something as it pertains to an opportunity as an Amazon influencer, as well as a brand owner, something you should be thinking of. So there's a lot of people out there that want to shoot a video and have a potential to make Amazon influencer commission on your product. On the other side, brands want a lot of creative, what happened? Nothing. Brands want a lot of creative so that they can add in their posts. So if you have the influencers creating vertical video on the Amazon Influencer Program, or maybe they can get it into the Amazon Inspire, you can then get that video and add it into your posts and be able to test a lot greater using sponsored brand video now. You with me on what I said?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a situation now.
The answer is no.
That's good. Why I heard it and I was like, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. That's why I asked, right? So on the brand side, we want creative to be able, creative being video, images, everything. UGC, especially of our product. Especially video. Video hits different. In this case, on the other side, you have Amazon influencers that they want to review products and have a chance of making a commission off of that thing in the Amazon influencer program. So if you were to just get Amazon influencers to create some vertical video reviews of your product or what they think about it, you could get those videos and add them or upload them into your Amazon posts, which would give you a lot of content to post, and you'd be able to post. And then when one of them took off, when one of them took off, you just jump into your Amazon sponsored brand videos, create a video ad, tag it, and use it as the creative on Amazon. What I'm seeing early stages on this, because I mean this is just stuff we're putting together like over the last 2 weeks, is some of the creative, the video, the vertical video that's taking off on posts, I would have never asked to be created. I would have been like, well, that's not our avatar. That person doesn't look like what I would have wanted. As a matter of fact, I think it's a funny video, but it's not flattering my product, but it's converting. So, huh? You never know. You never know what it is. And if everybody knew, then there wouldn't be agencies that specialize in helping you know what you knew, right? So like, you never know. And if you just are able to constantly test and put it in posts where it's not gonna harm your product, if it's not, because if it's not gonna do good, no one sees it. It's a great marriage between the two models. So I think the group is in a pretty unique scenario where there's a mix of sellers and there's also people that want to do the Amazon Influencer Program, so that can be explored.
I think if you're looking at retail arbitrage as a way of getting started in Amazon,
Don't. Stop there. Just don't do that.
look at influence.
Right.
Sure.
So that's one little cute marriage between the Amazon Influencer Program and I put here post-vertical video-SPV, which sounds crazy, but that's what I described a second ago. Now within the Amazon Influencer Program, it doesn't seem to be slowing down. I still recommend getting into it. I'm still pretty skeptical it'll be around in a year, but you could do really good in that year. So I'm still recommend doing it. I'm shocked that we're making what we're making off of it, but we are, and it keeps going up. So I recommend getting into it. Does anyone not know what it is? You don't know what it is? Well, if you would have been here in the last 7.5 years? 7 years is when the last time you came?
So we did submit it Tuesday, the day you, so I haven't seen any updates on my site yet.
Oh, on your influencer page? So no rejections, that's good.
So that's it, or?
No, it's definitely not it. But, I mean, it's better than being rejected. You're waiting for the verdict to come. You got approved for monetization, yes? How quick was yours? I was talking to some friends and we were wondering if you got approved for monetization.
Yeah, I got it.
So how quickly did you get approved for Amazon Influencer when you applied? And then what was your process from application to getting monetized?
So I recorded a video, my face was shown, and I always kept within frame. And I did with the product, it was a minute long. I make sure it's specifically. It took me like a week, 2 weeks tops.
To get approved for influencer, or was that?
And for,
So about a week to get approved for influencer and about a week to get approved for monetization. Okay.
no, actually for monetization, I was in the cruise, so maybe a little bit longer.
Okay.
Hey, question for you. What, You submitted 3 videos.
Yeah.
What category was the products on the video?
One was a toilet seat cover thing to go. That was funny.
So that's home, okay?
Yeah, free home.
3 home.
Yes, free home.
But go into it deeper.
Yeah.
Toilet is, no, but toilet is a subcategory. That's a rare one that most people wouldn't do their toilet products. What was the other two?
It was toilet, it was a oil diffuser, and the other one was, I don't know.
It's okay, you don't have to be embarrassed, just say what it is.
No. It wasn't sex chocolate. I'm just saying.
Maybe it would have been.
It was like maca powder, like some aphrodisiac powder. No.
On the Amazon influencer program, when you are inside, what do you do? Do you order products from Amazon, get it home, then do a video and upload it? This is what you do?
So the question is, what do you do in the Amazon influencer program? I recommend, and so far the majority of people that have heard about this in the group have not done this, right? I want to emphasize that there is,
We're testing.
right, yeah, I want to emphasize you're never going to run out of products to review, right? And in the event that you ever think you did, you could go back and review all the products you did a second and third time. So like, that's not an issue. We found how many different ways to find, I mean, I don't know if you're openly saying the one that you discovered through whatever, but there's that, there's Garage, yeah? What was the place called? Bin?
Look at a place called Hot Bins.
Yeah, look at a place called Hot Bins.
Yeah. So I think on Thursday, everything in the store is $8. On Friday, everything in the store is $6.
Yeah.
And then it goes down to $2.
$8, $6, $2 in the store.
Well, then they have no idea what they're doing, but if you go on your iPhone and you scan the product. and
So there's-
what it is,
So there's the bin store, there's garage sales, there's the stuff you have around the house, which is gonna be in the thousands, right? And then while that's going on, people are gonna be sending you products to do. There might be people from the group asking you to do it. So like, you ain't gonna run out of products. And if you do the 1,000 products and you put them up there, guess what you also have? Thousands of dollars coming into you every month too. So it's the craziest thing. But your question was, what is it?
Yeah, I mean,
You get
thought that
approved.
Maybe you were paid, to.
No, you get approved for the influencer program. You then submit 3 reviews to get approved for on-site monetization. And then once you have, you just upload video reviews of your products. You don't have to go out and buy any products, just the products you already have. As long as those products are also sold on Amazon. Not that you bought them on Amazon. Now, as far as how do you replenish more products, I shop a lot on Amazon. Anything you buy from the store, from anywhere, seasonings, not cold products, it also is sold on Amazon. So you just keep making a list of those things and keep reviewing them, and you just, it's amazing. So that's what it is, but it's Amazon, which is what I just said. You heard that?
Yeah, I thought that maybe someone sent you a product and they pay you to do that, I thought they
You
were-
do have a lot of like Chinese factories that are paying you or well, first they just say, we'll give you a product. But then you can't turn around and negotiate a price that you're willing to do it for. And a lot of it has to do with what you might have access to. Like, I don't have access to a balcony, but there's some products that are balcony products. So if you have a balcony and somebody sees your balcony in these videos, Chinese factory might be like, wow, I'm looking for someone to read my products. I need someone with a balcony. They're going to pay you. If you don't have pets or dogs or cats or birds or snakes, some of these products are specific to that. And not everyone has one. Same thing. If you have a pool, if you have kids, like all these different things that are very unique to you, you have. Your age, your sex, all this stuff. So
What was the exemption that you have for Chrome that shows you the percentage of the?
So
Is this a new thing?
it's about, Amazon Influencer Program's been around about 4.5 years.
It was taken off in the last year.
Well, it's been around for 4.5 years, and then it took off with Amazon Live Video. And then Amazon Live Video kind of died down, or it stopped being like a thing that people wanted to do, and then they rolled out in the influencer program the ability to do on-site monetization, which is what we're talking about now. That's what got everyone's attention. Does anyone know if on the screen you're looking at all those questions, Fernando? None. Is my screen showing?
No.
Okay, well, your question was was there a tool you wanted to know about? No? Okay, I want to bring up one more thing, and then if no one has any questions on some of the stuff that I've shared so far, one of the,
But you don't know what the name of the extension is?
which one?
The one that you were showing in the screen that shows you the percentage of the category and the.
There's two. One of the tools is one called Spies On, and there's another one called Lowest Hanging Fruit. So Lowest Hanging Fruit will let you go in and just look at, search in a category for products specifically that have availabilities to accept an Amazon influencer video. They're both really good for if you're deciding whether to review a product. Before you actually review it, you might want to check to see if the listing's even going to accept a video. So it's also good to save time. But Spies On, and the other one's called Lowest Hanging Fruit. One other thing I want to add that's not in the top 5, but we have some time to talk about it before ending today's meetup event, is I don't want to get too deep into it because I've not started doing it. But we've started the process, gotten approved. Very similar to the Amazon Influencer Program in the sense of when I first saw it, I felt like, well, this is BS, right? I want to say even Tom and then several others sent me this thing. And I think Tom's was, is this a scam? Right? And I was like, yeah, I think this is bad, right? But then more people are talking about it. Just like with the Amazon Influencer Program, there was a guy named Andrew Pardine who started posting screenshots of this money that he's making. So I reached out and I'm like, prove this to me, like prove you're actually doing this and we'll get you on the podcast, we'll bring you to present. He did, and now we're doing the Amazon Influencer Program. But this other one, I'm gonna call it right now TikTok Influencer Program, right? So almost the same principle of what we're talking about in the Amazon Influencer Program. Here are some of the differences, and this is where I'm at so far in the program.
That's like a Amazon influencer, TikTok shop has a.
Correct, that's what this is. Literally, yeah. So what happens here is, and again, I'm like, or my wife and I are about halfway into a course by Matt Lorian. If you want to buy the course, you can. It's like $30. Be prepared to be. Watching the course made me feel confident that I could create any course ever. And if you're someone that I guess gets easily offended by, like, I guess if you're very woke or something like that, you're gonna hear him say stuff like, it's a kid. He's a kid that's crushing it on a certain model of selling, and he says some like off-color things. How about that? I'll leave it at that. And at one point in the video of his course, I think he had an Uber delivery. It was pretty wild. DoorDash. But what happens here is you need to have a TikTok account. So where you're looking at TikTok, and I'll tell you where I stop in the process on where we're at. Hopefully by next Saturday, we've actually posted videos and hopefully made some money. You need a TikTok account. You need a TikTok, to do what we've done, you need a TikTok shop. Again, so far we're free, you could set that up, no problem. Then you need a TikTok creator account. And to be able to do some of this stuff like make money off or make commissions off of product sales, it seems like TikTok says you have to have 5,000 followers. But there seems to be a stupid, easy loophole in this, that if you just link your TikTok account to your TikTok shop, that you're gonna bypass that. Fernando, you have 0 followers, right? So you can have 0 followers, you have 0 followers. 0 followers, and be able to do what let's call it the Amazon influencer version of TikTok, okay? You with me? Okay, so they call it creator something. One of the big differences I think between the two, one of them's not so good and the other one's phenomenal. The not so good one is not every product is on TikTok shop. So like how we talk about going around your house and that every product you have lying around is sold on Amazon. That's not the case yet on TikTok. But if they keep rewarding creators or influencers this way, I suspect that very soon everything will also be sold on TikTok. That's the downside from the creator side of things. You're probably thinking like, can I just do everything I have around my house? No. For you to be able to do this, for you to make money on this, you're gonna need to connect it to a product that is also being sold on TikTok. So that's one. For those of you that have been selling for a while on the Amazon side as private label sellers, you probably remember when you ordered your 2,000 units from China and you were ranking this product new, you probably ordered like 500 or 600 extra units that you were gonna give away for free in exchange for an unbiased review, and that's how you ranked, right? So it seems like there's an even sexier version of that on TikTok from the brand side when you're in TikTok shops, and that is, I can have my product in my TikTok shop. And if I really want this thing to just go nuts and get a bunch of sales, is all I have to say is I'm giving 40% commission off this on any creator that sells it. And now, any of you can create a video that went through those steps. Create a video, not even a great video. Like some of the videos I've seen, just like our Amazon influencer videos for the most part, they kind of stink. Like we're not video people, right? But except Lisa's. Lisa's are amazing. And Tom. Yeah, we'll throw you in there. We'll give you a pity one. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. Ricky's are great. So Ricky's really good. Yeah. He has the vibe where he puts the broom and the mop in the back on live TV. He was really good. Yeah.
Got a link to the product.
You got a link to that's right. So we're not video people. Oh, I got to give the exception to Rafa. I forgot. Okay. You get the pass. These are junky videos, right? But you guys all make the video of this thing. Maybe not even drinking it. The one I saw of like pills, it was still sealed. Right? He was talking about that it was good, right? You do this video, and every time somebody just likes it enough. By the way, TikTok's prioritizing your videos right now, so you don't need a massive followers. You don't need to be a good creator. They're just boosting the ever-loving heck out of your videos and giving it a lot of love. And every time somebody sees it, there's a buy, shop. They click on it, and if I sell this thing for $10, you're gonna make $4 per sale on this product, right? So as the brand owner, you're looking at it like you could just look at that as your ad budget. You could look at that as what you were going to be giving away in products, and you could just rank the heck out of anything on TikTok pretty much if you're willing to give up a generous percentage in your launch, which is pretty wild. Question, yeah.
I was gonna share with you that you don't actually have to own the product. You don't have to actually physically have the product. I've seen videos of people saying.
The AI.
No, not AI. This is saying this product is on sale on Amazon for this, but it's on sale for TikTok for this, and it does.
What are they holding here? Nothing?
Nothing. They're just showing screen. Oh, here's a screenshot. You don't have to own it. So if
That's
you're
insane.
like
I've not
selling-
seen that. I've not seen that, but I.
Crazy. So if you're like saying, I want to do ashwagandha, I don't know what ashwagandha does for you, but you're like, it's on sale.
It's in
on
the sex
Amazon for
chocolate.
this,
It's in the sex
but it's
chocolate.
But it's over here for this, and it does this for me. It makes me feel happier, or whatever it does, and that's the video. So you're just tagging that product for that. So you don't even have to own the product.
I saw one, I forget who sent it, it was Tom or it was Matt Lorian or something. What was the one that had this is the best way I know how to describe it, guys, but it had seemed like a big Jamaican woman on it or something.
It was like CMOS.
CMOS, Jamaican, talking, all AI. It was like AI video. It was not trying to be passed off. It was animated almost, right? Would you call it animated?
100%. AI animated.
AI, and you saw the same one, right? Like an AI animated. Stills put together in a loop talking about CMOS. And the person shared the numbers on this one. What was it? Calo data?
Calo data.
$200,000. Was that's not his cut. It was 200,000 and a 40%.
Yeah, 224,000 in sales, 40%.
224,000 in sales from that video, and he gets 40% of that. Carried no inventory, didn't do anything. So it's pretty nuts. What I took from that as well is I keep saying that I think the Amazon influencer thing has about 18 months, and then it's, well, to me, this gives a lot more life into the Amazon influencer programs. I can't imagine Amazon being able to back off, even if they wanted to on the Amazon influencer side, Because if TikTok keeps treating creators this good, they're gonna blow up just like YouTube. I mean, YouTube does amazing because of how a creator creates, and they have such easy ways to make money, whether it's merch, POD, whether it's AdSense, whether it's like all these different things that you can do. And TikTok seems to be taking a playbook out of that. I'm sure TikTok's gonna come out with long form video too, so they're trying to do that. Amazon can't afford to back off. If anything, I think Amazon might be ramping up. We might see things get a little sweeter on the Amazon influencer side, but Walmart has something in the mix. Like the Walmart one's gonna be coming out. I just wanna say this is a model that we're gonna be talking about all year. I really think you should be paying attention to it. I still say, even with all this easy money that you can make on this, you should be thinking about a brand. You should be thinking about building a brand, right?
This is also more.
Yes, but let me tell you, it is so much more pleasant building a brand when you're not like having massive cash flow issues. If you want to get really creative with PPC, have this massive cash flow machine of just like TikTok and Amazon influencer videos feeding it. It is so much more of a pleasant experience. So highly recommend it.
I was gonna say that for the TikTok influencer, what I've found is there's 3 types of videos. There's that one crazy AI one, happy to share with you the YouTube video of this guy who's just, I mean, fascinating. I mean, I was like, I could do this. So, and I'm not technical at all.
I vouch
Other
for
ones
that.
you can like show the product on Amazon and do a comparison price one, or you could actually take that Prime, actually that drink right there, and then create something fun, right? So how do you script something like that? Go to ChatGPT, say Prime, energy or whatever, and then it gives you a script. How would I script this in 150 words? And it says like, pretend like you wake up in the morning, you grab the Prime Energy drink, they're all drowsy, and then immediately you drink it, and then you speed up everything, you run around the house, get ready. As a matter of fact, your wife is scratching your head. As you walk out the door, you throw your keys and you start running to work. Or something like, then ChatGPT comes up with that. So you don't have to have a lot of like creative juices here to use some of this tech that's out there. So these types of videos I think you can do on TikTok Shop. So.
Yeah, it's wild. I can't add more to it because it would be just repeating what I'm seeing in a course. I'm hoping by next Saturday, I'll be able to show you like the first sale, first penny or dollar or whatever we got from it. But it does, unfortunately, I wanted TikTok to just go away. But unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. And it looks like there's some very easy ways to make money. I'm gonna say what I'm seeing right now though, if you have a brand, a physical product brand, you probably should be thinking about adding it to TikTok Shop, right? Your ranking and your sales and everything.
The halo effect of TikTok into Amazon is a real thing.
What was the article we read yesterday that talked about that?
Halo effect of TikTok to everywhere, 15 to 20% of sales.
Yeah, that was a really good article. And if somebody lets me know after the event, I'll send it to you, but Ramon found it, and it was basically ranking your stuff on TikTok is a super amazing way to basically rank your stuff on Amazon. So people will see it on TikTok, like it, want to buy it, but not trust TikTok.
Or not want to wait the 7 days to get the product.
Not want to wait the 7 days, and they just fire over to Amazon to get it. So don't miss the boat on this. For those of you that are saying, oh my God, I wish I started selling on Amazon when you started selling on Amazon. It was so much easier. Well, this is that time right now on TikTok. Like, do it. Yes. An ask for everybody here in the group. Like, everybody here has their own network. We've not had somebody come in here and present on what I just said on the TikTok influencer thing because I'm refusing to have somebody come in to present unless they can show proof that they're actually doing this. I don't want somebody coming in here telling us some stuff to do and they're not actually doing it. Since TikTok's not my thing, I'm reliant on like tools to see sales, and it's not the same. If you know anyone who is actually doing this, that you're in communication with, or you're in a group with somewhere, I don't care if they have a course, I don't care if they sell it as a service, anything like that. I'd like to get them to come in to present to the group. I'd be happy to pay and fly them in. Compensate them for a time to help the group, but I would like a recommendation because the people I've spoke to so far, even with the courses, are standing me up on Zoom, not willing to actually show me what's going on in their account, and that's a sticking point on that. Make sense?
TikTok has a lot of webinars. I go every week. They email me the webinars, people online.
Can you send me a link?
Yeah.
But are they talking about the influencer side of TikTok?
Every week is something. Last week was about shoppable videos and what you can, you cannot do, and you actually ask questions.
If you can send me a link, it'd be nice, yeah.
TikTok, they're not influencers.
Yeah, but I'm sure there might be other people on the chat that have their name, and you can backtrack that way.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, but that's a favor I'm asking for you guys, for something on that. It definitely looks like 2024 is going to be super exciting with the influencer program, with TikTok, with, you know, Alex really being tip of the spear on like print on demand stuff, branding and private labels looking better and better, with Shopify being like just making sense, making dollars and cents to bring into play. So a lot of good stuff for us this year. We ended a little early. I don't have anything else to add. If anybody has any questions on what we talked about, I'm happy to answer it. No? If not, yep.
What do you feel that you're being screwed up with these people that are allegedly?
Why do I think?
Uh-huh. Is it because they're not making money, or is it because they don't want to share their?
Why do I think I'm being stood up from the people on TikTok and they won't show it? I don't know. My mind goes to the worst. I think it's natural to just assume the worst. They're really not making that much money, but it could also be they're thinking, I'm crushing it every time I put a video out here. Why in the world would I give 4 hours of my time or an hour and a half of my time? It could just as well be that. The majority of the people that I know that are really crushing it with this, or if it's to be believed what they're showing, and mind you, they're not just showing screenshots either. They're logging in and they're refreshing, but you can fake that too. It's a lot harder. So it does look like it's definitely happening, but a lot of them look like they just hit puberty, right? Like they're kids. So one of them I pitched and I said, hey, I see you got this course. I'm happy to put together a group of like 7, 8, 9-figure sellers that you could speak to. So I was thinking that would wow them, right? But then I was thinking, man, if I was a 19-year-old knowing how to do this stuff, I would be intimidated to be around people like that. So
You got pizza and video games.
right, I think I might have presented to some of them the wrong way. It could be a lot of things. Yeah, but if I'm telling them, hey, I'm willing to buy 30 licenses of your course and give them out to people. I'm willing to get you more sales for being on the pod and for being here and allow you to be able to sell your courses. If you could just show me that you're actually doing this and you're not, to me that starts getting a little, so that's why I'm saying like, this is as far as I've got. When I start getting some sales, I'll share it with everybody. But if you wanna kind of get on that little adventure with me and figure it out, right now it looks like it's worth it. All right? And with that, we'll wrap it up. We can stay here networking. Thank you so much.